his camp believes that he needs to bear what the market value is, and they feel like this deal should have gotten done 2 years ago. So your problems with money aren't our problems. It's about respect.
If you trust that report, and I do, is it possible devoted and dependable Dak has become delusional Dak? So let's pretend, we'll play a game here, that quarterbacks were paid in order based on two things. Now, talent's obviously a big deal, but I think it's actually second place to how valuable you are. Because I've seen Bill Belichick give up a lot of talented players. He rarely gives up valuable players. In fact, our sports leagues all have awards called Most Valuable Player. None of them have Most Talented Player. Joy and I have been in this business for 30 years. Companies move on from talented people all the time. Valuable people, they'll move on from valuable people. So if you were paid based on your talent and how valuable you are, to me, there's three tiers. The first tier is four guys: Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen. And let me describe each. Seattle runs an antiquated offense. Pete Carroll was fired twice and had a losing record in Seattle before Russell Wilson. What is Seattle offensively without Russell Wilson? Tom Brady not only moves your team in the right direction, he gives you Super Bowls at the end. He changed a goofy Buccaneer franchise into a place now, we argue, everybody wants to play. Aaron Rodgers doesn't give you many Super Bowls, but Green Bay has historically been awful when he doesn't play. And then Josh Allen. Josh Allen's their best running back. He's their best running weapon. He's their best throwing weapon on a historically last 20 years in that franchise. They're now a Super Bowl conversation team. The second tier, and I know what you're saying, Patrick Mahomes? Well, Andy Reid has 13 playoff wins without Patrick Mahomes. 2 years ago, they beat the playoff Vikings without Patrick Mahomes and should have beaten the Packers. The Kansas City Chiefs were a good franchise forever without Patrick Mahomes. And with all their weapons today, if Patrick Mahomes was not the Chiefs quarterback, I believe, we saw it with Alex Smith, they'd be a playoff team. So the second tier, Patrick Mahomes is a mega talent, but not quite as valuable as the first four. Deshaun Watson, again, mega talent, but he went 4-12 this year. And oh, by the way, Bill O'Brien won that division with Brock Osweiler. Look it up. I did. I don't remember it, but it happened. Lamar Jackson is damn good. But Baltimore won a lot of games in the Super Bowl without him. And then Jimmy Garoppolo. I know what you're saying. Come on, Colin. Kyle Shanahan is a great coach, has won 25% of his NFL games without Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm sorry, I've hurt your feelings. That's called valuable. Everybody else in the NFL is tier 3. Pretty talented, sometimes valuable. Let's remember that in the last 17 starts, Dak Prescott is 6-11. They were 5-5 with Andy Dalton last year. If you count the game he came in initially and led them to a win against the New York Giants, they were behind. Dak got hurt. He came in and won. Dak was 8-8 in 2019, 6-11 his last 17 starts, and in games he started and finished last year, he was 1-3. Andy Dalton, if you count the game, he replaced Dak against the Giants, was 5-5. Now, Dak's better than Andy Dalton. I am not in any way insinuating he is not. But if Dak is saying this morning, I'm worth Patrick Mahomes' money, I'm going to struggle with that. And I like Dak, but that's dependable, devoted Dak to delusional Dak. You got to kind of know, if you go into contract negotiations, you got to kind of know the temperature in the room. To me, there's 4 guys that are tier 1. They can kind of name their price. And there's another 4 or 5 guys, maybe even more talented, but don't quite feel as valuable to the franchise. Garoppolo would be the opposite. I don't think he's a mega talent, but I think he's super valuable to San Francisco. Everybody else is kind of tier 3. Obviously, a Dak, maybe a higher tier 3, or a Matt Ryan, and, Baker's probably somewhat valuable. But if that's true, if he sees himself as Mahomes' money class, I Maybe that's why Jerry Jones may franchise him again. That may be the reason. Coming up next, whenever you watch a sporting event, watch the commercials. Because the commercials will tell you who the audience is for the sporting event. Ever watch a golf event and it's like American Express and it's Buick? Older people watch golf. If you watch the NBA, it's Mountain Dew, it's Burger King. Younger people watch the NBA. Leagues will tell you who is watching based on the commercials. And leagues also tell you, right now the NBA is telling you, Zion's about to become our most popular player, more than LeBron. And I'll talk about that coming up. If you got 30 free minutes, you never have to worry about a break-in at your home ever again. And one of the things about Simply Safe that's really cool is that the website is so functional and easy to use. A lot of people aren't, you wouldn't think to yourself, I could set up an alarm. I've known multiple people who go to Simply Safe and they say, it's really, really easy. Customize your home, simplysafecolin.com. You easily choose the exact sensors you need from their experts. Gets to your house in a week if you order it. A week later, your family assets guarded. It's easy to assume everybody in your house already feels safe, but they might not. Worthwhile to talk about it. Go to simplysafecolin.com today and customize your system. Really easy to do.